This is the first ever Android phone. It is Genesis. It's the phone that changed the course of the industry forever, and it is the T-Mobile G1 or HTC Dream. Now, I've wanted to make a video on this phone for ages, but finding a decent one has proved to be tremendously difficult. But now that I've finally got my hands on one, let's take a look. Firstly, the design is a little bit wacky. Underneath the relatively spacious 3.2-inch display is a pretty sticky outer chin. Just look at that there, on which there are no less than 5 different navigation buttons, which is quite a lot. And in addition to that, there's also a BlackBerry style trackball, which is quite interesting. While the multitude of buttons does look a little bit complicated, it's actually pretty easy to get used to. But if you are scared of buttons, look away now, because if you just push the screen sideways like so, it unveils a physical keyboard, and while it does look a little bit ungainly, it actually is quite fantastic to use. And also, let's just take a moment to appreciate the sliding mechanism, because it feels so good and it's actually pretty gorgeous, and it's basically HTC hardware at its absolute best. On the back of it, we've got a 3.2 megapixel camera, which was actually more than the 2 megapixels of the iPhone 3G, and on the bottom is a mini USB port. However, you might notice that there is no headphone jack. But you know, that's courage, isn't it? But what is it actually like to use? Well, this example is using Android 1.6 Donut, and it actually feels relatively modern. You have all your notifications in the slider like so, like on a modern phone, and the basic interface is very similar to the Android of today. However, the multitasking is very basic. You get to it by pressing this button here, but at least there is multitasking, unlike on the iPhone. Now, would you rather use this or the original iPhone? Let me know in the comments.